Hi, beautiful soul. Today I want to share with you some of my favorite books that have really changed my life. So let's start right away. The first book is going to be The Breakthrough Experience from Dr. John Demartini. You know, that was the kind of book that when I read, it gives me like a whole life transformation. I was thinking, does it matter what I do? Is it important to do anything? Why not just stay in your bed and not do anything? So that experience taught me, even if you try to stay in your bed, after some time you will start understanding what is calling you, right? You will have an idea, an inspiration, something that is calling you forward to be able to change what you are doing. So for me, it was, I think after the third day, I was like, okay, now I understand why even if you wanted to just stay in bed, there will be something that calls you. There is so much wisdom in that book, and really life-transforming wisdom. It's not like anything that you have been hearing around you. At least that was for me the case. I think it was like 10 years ago. The things that I learned from that book really changed everything for me. Helped me redefine how I think. Helped me redefine how life can be created. Helped me take my destiny in my hands. You are the master of your destiny, not some other people, not some predefined things. Everything can be decided by you and your thought and your actions. And well, I really love everything in that book, and especially the Demartini method. Dr. John Demartini can explain that better. But for me, it's a method that you can use to balance your mind. When you are thinking like life is only one side, or you are judging one person or maybe yourself, you can use that method to bring back balance and be in a state of equanimity, a state of unconditional love when you are not blaming people anymore. So using that method really helps you to have gratitude, deep gratitude in your life. So my first book that I really love and that have changed my life is definitely The Breakthrough Experience. The second one is going to be Atomic Habits by James Clear. It has been on the internet for a while, so I'm sure you have come across it already, but really it's one of my favorite books. Because when you start having those big ambitions, those big visions, those things that you want to bring in your life, it can feel overwhelming at first. But what that book, Atomic Habits, did for me was showing me a way how you can tackle those ambitions one after another and taking baby steps forward, like I love to call them. Taking atomic habits, creating atomic habits in your life, so small habits that you improve each time. So from that book, the concept that really changed everything for me was understanding the identity shift. Well, if you say, I'm trying to stop with smoking, and someone presents you a cigarette, you will be thinking about taking that cigarette or not. But imagine that you identify as a non-smoker, right? I identify as a non-smoker. So if somebody comes and say, do you want a cigarette? It will be so easy for me to say, no, thank you, I don't smoke, right? There is no doubt in my mind. I don't even think about that, right? Because my identity is definitely a strong non-smoker identity. So it's the same for everything that we are trying to bring in our life. The moment we start identifying as the person that we are trying to be. A few years ago, when I read that book, I haven't started my YouTube channel yet. But if I start identifying as a YouTuber, the question is not anymore, am I going to post videos or not, right? It is maybe what frequency am I going to post my videos? That becomes the question. How well do I want to edit my video or not edit them? You see, the questions are different. But if I don't identify as a YouTuber, then the question is, oh, I have too much self-doubt. How can I become the person who creates a YouTube channel, right? Changing your identity from where you are to becoming the person that you want to be is so important. And this is also an idea that I share in my course, A New You, because identity shift makes all the difference. Then the other idea that I really found interesting in that book was when you want a ice cube to melt down, right? It's not like you put your ice cube on the table and at the same time it's already melt down. No, the temperature is going to influence that ice cube until it comes to a degree, to a point when it starts melting, right? So it's the same for our life when we are putting in the effort, for example, in our YouTube channel or in our course creation, we can be putting the effort, but we don't see the result. We don't see the results right away. And if we stop just before that tipping point where the ice cube started melting, if we stop just before that one video who could blow up our channel, like they say in the YouTube language, right? If we stop there, we will never attain the result that we wanted. But if you continue to improve and to create that momentum and to sustain that momentum with consistency, then we really get forward, right? And those are some ideas that I really love from that book, Atomic Habits, but there are so many more. I really recommend that you watch that. The third book that I will recommend, I think, is Making Time. It's about making time for the things that you really love. And this is one idea that I already applied in my life, in the sense of prioritizing the things that you really want to have in your life. It's really a beautiful thing to be able to know that we create time for the things that are important to us. It's not about being successful at everything in one day. It's about, for that day, having some highlights, some priorities that you will be able to accomplish for that day, and that will bring you the more fulfillment in your growth and in your contribution and in your sense of, I've done something today. For example, it can be just filming a video, or it can be researching for that video, or it can be cooking a delicious, healthy meal for yourself and your family, right? If that is your highlight for your day, if you get there, that is fantastic and that is enough. Okay, this third book, I'm kind of avoiding to talk about it, but I think it is also one book that has changed everything for me, especially when it comes to your feminine energy. And this book, I'm not even sure if YouTube allows people to talk about this, but the title is called P-U-S-S and Y. I mean, Y. So it's by Regina Thomashauer. So these books from Regina Thomashauer is really empowering women to go to their feminine essence and use their own feminine power, the dark feminine energy, the light feminine energy, in order to, she doesn't use those terminologies, but she uses her own terminology, a little bit provocative, I will admit, but it really allows women to unleash that power from within, that goddess that is within them, and to start attracting the life that they really desire unapologetically, right? Because the society we live in has values on the patriarchal, the masculine energy, but the values from the feminine are not always taken into consideration, like having pleasure, having fun, having ease, right? And unapologetically creating what you really want. So that book helped me really understand the power of the feminine energy and how it is not so much represented in society or in religions, for example. So I really recommend, if you want to go deeper in your feminine energy, you can read that book as well. So those are my favorite books that have transformed my life, and I'm so happy to share those with you. I'm sure it will help you transform your own lives as well. And a little bonus will be also that book, Lady Balls by Mina, Irfan. It is one of the teachers that I love to follow. And in that book, for me, what was really interesting was to understand the different stages in life. And you can be in a stage where you are learning in school and so on. And then you can be in your baby creation phase, right? And then you can be entering your wealthy woman era. That was the most interesting for me because I identify with that era. You have created your family, you have had your diplomas, and now it's time to create your wealth. You create even generational wealth. You really use both your feminine energy and your masculine energy, and you honor your feminine nature, your feminine essence, to bring your dreams, your desires to reality. Okay, so I really recommend also that you check out that book. So those are my favorite books that have been transforming my life in the last years or so. All right, I wish you a lot of fun with this video, and I cannot wait to see you in the next video or in a course because I've created 2 courses, Feminine Rebirth, all about confidently creating your first course, even if nobody buys. And I call it Setting Up the Foundation of Your Dream Business originally. And then the second one, A New You, becoming that confident, magnetic, empowered, attractive version of yourself. Well, check them out if that resonates with you. Until next time, stay inspired. I love you. Bye.